Hey guys, what's going on? Wanted to talk today about, when a lot of times we get to that point where we're trying to make something happen in our lives. We have goals, and we have our dreams and these aspirations and everything and things that we want. And, when you try and no matter how hard you try, it just seems like you never get there, right? Like it's never going to happen. When you don't you can't seem to lose the weight you want to lose, or maybe you're not in the ideal job or have the career that you want, or you're not making the money that you want, or you don't have the relationship that you want, like any of these areas, and we try and it just seems like when we're not achieving what it is we want, like that ideal goal, that dream that we have, we get to a place, a lot of times it's easy to just feel like giving up, and we get filled with these feelings of uncertainty. We get filled with self-doubt. A lot of times, there's fear, there's worry, right? There's kind of this, then, we get so down on ourselves, we start like blaming ourselves. We like mentally beat ourselves up because we think that we should be like so much further along, or I should have done this by now, or this should happen, or, and we should all over ourselves, right? We've heard that one before. And, a lot of times though, what happens is that, we get stuck in this negative spiral, right? And we just start feeling like we're not good enough. We feel like maybe, our goals and dreams are not possible for us. It works for everybody else maybe, but not us. That there's something wrong with me. Maybe I don't deserve this, right? And it really starts to mess with your head. And what I wanted to share was a little something that I learned when, going through those kind of, times and those thoughts and everything. And it's that really, if you think about it, it really comes down to our perspective, right? Because that's really the way that we're looking at life, right? So, if we're not where we want to be, if we don't have the body that we want, if we're not at our ideal weight, if we don't have the relationship, the money, the career, whatever it is, there's really no label on that, right? There's nothing saying that this isn't possible, or that, you're not good enough, or you don't deserve it. There's nothing saying that. We come up with that. That's our own thoughts, that's our own beliefs, that is our own kind of feelings that we come up with, right? The labels that we put on things based on our own perspective. So consider this now. What would happen if you shifted your perspective? Because here's the thing, the actions that we take, the things we do, are what create our results or the outcomes, right? So the actions that we take are driven by our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, right? That's what drives it all. And so a lot of this stuff is unconscious. We just don't realize that this is what's going on because it happens so fast, and we become really good at acting from thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that do not serve us. So think about, every time you feel like giving up, every time you feel like you're a failure, every time you feel like your goals and dreams are not going to happen, you don't deserve them, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you compare yourself to other people and all that kind of stuff, that's driving your actions. So think about the actions that you take. They're going to be driven from really places of fear and doubt and uncertainty and anxiety and worry, right? All that kind of stuff. So if we could shift our perspective around and come from thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that serve us in a positive way, think about the actions that we start to take, right? How that changes everything. And it's an interesting thing because, I look at, having over, a couple years ago, shutting my business down, right? Having my business, which it was a long time kind of dream of mine to have my own, business, my training business. And going from having that and then making a decision that, I wanted something more. I wanted to, be in a different area. I wanted to live by the beach, and having to go after that dream because, that was like a bigger dream for me. And so, making a decision to close my business down, sell the house, move out this way, and basically start over from scratch and, go, into like building a new business from scratch, having to do that all over again. And it was a goal I had. It's like a vision I've got here. But, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I had those feelings myself, and I still get them. And it's easy at times to get so frustrated where I feel like, screw this, like just like give up on it, because maybe it's not happening in the way that I want or as fast as I want, or, I have like big goals where I start thinking, man, I should be here by now. I should be doing this, doing that, and just because I'm not where I think I should be doesn't mean that it's not happening, right? It's the perspective again. So instead of looking, because a lot of times we're looking at how far we have to go. We keep thinking how far it is away. And again, if we change the perspective, instead of looking out this way at how far we have to go, what if we turned it around and looked the other way and see how far we've come, right? And this is something that we very rarely, if ever, take the time to do it. We're so busy looking back the other way at how far we have to go, we don't take the time to acknowledge all the progress we've made along the way. And if you look at it, if you look at where you started to where you are now, even if you're not where you want to be, look at how far you've come. Because you're definitely a lot further along than where you were when you began, right? Look at that, really acknowledge that. And what that does is it's positive proof that our goals are not impossible. Our dreams are not impossible. It's the label we put on it based on our perception, right? That's all this is. So if we started to shift that perception, you start to see how far along the way you've come. You'll see that you're making steps toward your goals. Sure, they might not happen, right now, or maybe you haven't achieved what you want yet. You're not quite there yet. But it doesn't mean you never will be. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It's the perception that we put on it, the labels that we apply to these things in our life, right? So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to say, and almost invite you to look at it that way, right? Not to look so far at where you have to go. Don't look at how far you have to go still. Stop and look back and see all the progress that you've made so far. And I think it'll really help shift your perspective, and it'll start to change not only, the thoughts and feelings and even the beliefs you have about yourself and about your goals and dreams. And, that will start to shift, which will help you take more positive actions that serve you and keep moving you forward in the direction of the goals and dreams that you have. So I hope that helped in some way. Just wanted to share that one with you today and invite you to do that, So it's, not about getting down. It's not about, labeling things as impossible. It's really just about choosing a perspective that serves us in a more positive way. It's all that is. So that's what I invite you to do today. And let me know how that goes. I hope that connected with you, helped you in some way. And in the meantime, take care. I'll talk to you soon.